So my first paid professional acting gig was at Discovery World Children's Science Museum when it was located down at the Milwaukee Public Museum Center. Electro, a show of electricity, is one of the two shows that I acted in on a daily basis, and I, if given the choice, would play emo. And emo was this sort of hapless, asexual lab assistant that really didn't have a clue about anything at any given time. And then, of course, there was Dr. Discovery, who was the taskmaster, mad scientist that I used to work with all the time. Emo's costume involved sparkly tennis shoes, an ill-fitted, oversized lab coat that had a bedazzled emo on the side, and then a big sparkly hat that like 12,000 people had worn previously to me in the department. By the way, Febreze is not a cleaning detergent. So Electro Show of Electricity, in a nutshell, is a really, really great show, actually. It's 60 minutes, and it's chock full of awesome facts about electricity. And we have great demos where we pull out these like Van de Graaff generators, and people put their hands on it, and their hair goes up in the air. And the piece de resistance is at the end of the show, where we pull out these two gigantic Tesla coils, and it produces over 1 million watts of electricity. It's pretty cool. Now, Electro is also a show that's geared towards 1st through 5th graders, 6th graders, maybe, if they've had enough sugar. But if you're familiar with nonprofits, as I know a lot of us are in this room, we're going to go for the buck. So if a teacher from Chicago calls up and says, you know, I've got like 2 busloads of at-risk high school students, can we book this show? We're going to be like, yeah, come on down. And of course, this created a lot of chaos in the audience, more times than not. And since I've done this show 1,697 times at this point, I developed what I called the Pavlov emo complex. It kind of went like this. Stage manager would walk up to me 5 minutes before the show, and he would say, okay, Leah, there's about like 200 high school students in the audience. And all of a sudden, I would go, ding, I would start sweating, I would hyperventilate. Sometimes I threw up in a trash can back there, nobody knew except for me. And then I would run out there, I would do the show, act like a clown, take my bow, run directly into the green room, and then proceed to cry into a pillow. And I did this on a cycle about like 3 to 4 times a day. It was hell. So, one fine day, the powers that be came into the room in the theater, we're all sitting around, and they said, you know what? We're going to give the power back to you, actors. If you feel at any point the show is just getting out of control, we're going to let you stop the show on a 3-strike policy. Okay. So, great. The very next day, I'm not kidding you, the very next day, I am elated. The stage manager comes up and he says, okay, it's like a house full of like 8th graders in the audience. And I'm like, I got this. I got this. I'm packing. No one is going to put emo in the corner this time. I am so ready for this. So I jump in my garbage can, because that's what we do at Discovery World in the show. And I pop out and I start the show, and I'm like, blah, blah, science, science, blah, blah, blah. And all the kids are really good, except for this like pocket of noise that I keep hearing in the upper left-hand corner of the house. And it's bothering me. So after 2 minutes, I gently step out of my character and I say, just so you know, we're going to have to stop the show and cancel if you guys can't like take it easy and be quiet. First warning, jump back into character, blah, blah, science, pew, pew, zzz, zzz, zzz. And unfortunately, I keep hearing it. It's a little bit louder in the corner, and I stop and I give the second warning. Now, the third warning, it's so loud, it's ridiculous. And I'm doing my shtick, kind of dancing around, talking about electricity, and then all of a sudden I see like this pocket of people kind of stand up and they start walking down the side of the stage, and I see it's a teacher escorting somebody. Now, here's the thing. The person that they were escorting wasn't necessarily a regular student. I get a better look, and I see it's a young adult who is probably between the age of 16 and 18, and she has some sort of shade of Down syndrome. And she was crying, wailing. And I'm still talking, and I'm realizing a lot of things in my head in that moment. 1, emo just yelled at her. Okay. 2, she knows it. The teacher knows it. They walk out, and I'm still doing my thing. 3, I look into the audience. Those kids sure as hell know who emo yelled at. And then I think to myself, oh my hell, I have 55 more minutes in front of these kids. What am I going to do? And let me tell you something. Over 1 million volts of electricity was never so boring and unenlightening in my life. Thank you.